you know, Chris was weaving all over the back straight, you know, just trying to keep me behind, and you know, I clipped him one lap going into the S's, and that really cost me like the win of the race, because it cost me about a second and a half. And you know, it was fair enough. You know, he was racing, I was racing. It wasn't anyone's fault, but it was enough to get back. And I smashed the lap record coming back through, but that was all I could do. So you know, on the rostrum, happy.
And consolation for being fourth in the series. Walker then is in front of Hodgson now for the first time. Reynolds is still third. Hizzy fifth, not here of course. Neil Mackenzie sixth. Steve Plater seventh, and John Crawford in eighth. That's how the factory riders look. And this is how the privateers look. Another double win for Dave Hill puts him well and truly in front of the luckless John Crockford. Crockford once looking the runaway winner for this series, not anymore. Gordon Blackley is third. Dave Hill on top of the privateers podium. James Hayden makes it to the Works and Factory Riders podium, but it's Chris Walker they were all following. Next, it's the 125s. They may be small, but they're perfectly formed. Every race at Mallory Park has been a cracker, and the fans weren't disappointed with the 125s either. Kenny Tibble can't party just yet. 17 points is the lead he has over Paul Robinson, and Robinson is closing. Alan Green is third, Jason DeSalvo fourth, Stuart Easton fifth, John Pearson sixth, Lee Jackson seventh, and the Grand Prix man Leon Haslam eighth. 125 class is producing some great young talent. Kenny Tibble is chased hard by Hodgson protege Leon Camier. And Paul Bird sponsored Scott Stuart Easton. Easton sits on his first pole of the year, chased by the privateer Christopher Martin. It's going to be a great race. And to confirm that pole position for Stuart Easton there, from Christopher Martin, from Alan Green and Pete Jennings, of course. Paul Robinson is only fifth, Lee Jackson sixth, Leon Camier seventh, and Casey Stoner in his first race on a 125 in eighth. Row three, John Pearson, Kenny Tibble. Oh, dear me, what's he doing down there? Mark Davies and Jason DeSalvo. Row four is Pearson, Sproston, Murphy and Patrickson. So, Stuart Easton on his first ever pole on the 125, Paul Bird Motorsport man. So Paul Bird watching over pit lane at the moment as number 44 goes backwards, but look who's come from the second row. Was that the second row?
It was.
Oh, Casey Stoner's come from 8th place on the grid. Casey Stoner, 14 years old, and his first 125 race in the British Championships. Leads straight away, just 14. He leads the man behind him, old age Stuart Easton at 16. And then we've got Paul Robinson there in third place, the man with the most to gain from this championship. If he can just get on terms, he needs the 25 points, because number 10, right mired back in the pack, Kenny Tibble, is under attack in this championship.
I think Alan Green, number 99, up to 4th place in front of 26, who is Chris Martin.
Oh, lots of aggro going here. Jason DeSalvo's there as well. He's old too, isn't he? 16 years old or something. Coming down to the bus stop. Look at the 125s. It's the charge of the Light Brigade. You're right. Through went forward. There's 10, Kenny Tibble going through. Up at the hairpin. Under attack. Stuart Easton goes through. Stuart Easton. So we've got 16-year-old in front of 14-year-old. Age before beauty then in these circumstances.
Absolutely. Scott leads Aussie in the British Championship.
And don't forget about 26, Christopher Martin. So Christopher Martin, a true privateer. There's a number 18, that's Paul Robinson. There's Kenny Tibble, bike number 10. So a lot of bikes between him and Paul Robinson. Paul Robinson is, of course, second in the series and trying to close in. Oh, look at this. Look at Casey Stoner.
Beautiful.
What style is that? The bike looks too big for him.
It doesn't at
all.
all.
Say that about 125.
Stuart Easton's not giving up.
Oh, there's Christopher Martin. He's right there too on 26.
Stuart Easton looks to the inside at the hairpin.
Dear me.
He's in the way. Beautifully done.
Well, they are thin bikes.
Oh, you can fit about 3 of them through the bus stop side by side.
Well, you need one for each foot to make them look in proportion. So then, 48, Casey Stoner leads. Stuart Easton is here. Behind, I should say, 26, Christopher Martin. Christopher Martin, again, riding brilliantly. He rode good last time out as well. He really is having a great series.
Beautifully placed on the inside, coming up to the hairpin, but the Aussie chops him across the nose, no problem.
I tell you what, good to see privately sponsored motorcycles, or not sponsored as these two are concerned. Look at this, Casey Stoner, I know they've got very little money. Mum and Dad over here from Australia as well to look after him. And then Christopher Martin with just a bright orange fairing with nothing written on it. How often do you see that?
Oh, that hurts. That's John Pearson.
It is John Pearson on the BOC Gases Express Welding Honda. He'll need some welding doing again. We'll call him the song and dance man. He's not happy. Mind you, don't get doctors that pretty anywhere where I used to fall off.
Yeah, sit down, son.
26, 26, Christopher Martin leads. Oh, he does look out up, he doesn't he?
Oh, don't drop back, it'll cost you money.
Deary me, I'll tell you what, the kids aren't talking to him. Christopher Martin, while John Pearson goes through the throws. He's not happy, is he?
Not so you'd notice, kid. I remember I've got photos of you like that at Druids.
Oh,
he's happier now.
That is me. And the doctor's in on it as well.
Where's my bike?
Christopher Martin leads. Let's not undermine this young man's efforts.
What next, I ask myself.
I wonder. The doctor's there anyway. 26, Christopher Martin leads from Stuart Easton on a mission. Oh, Stuart. I tell you what, another great save at the hairpin. We've seen some of them today, that's for sure. Stuart Easton then, well, widens the gap between first and third. There is Casey Stoner. And the battle for fifth place is raging as well. Jason DeSalvo gets under Camilla, but Camilla gets back underneath Jason DeSalvo. 14-year-old versus 16-year-old. Now then, Christopher Martin starts his last lap, and so does Casey Stoner. He gets a big slingshot up the inside of Stuart Easton and goes through into second place. So Stoner takes second place for Stuart Easton. What a remarkable ride this has been. Christopher Martin has just got to hold it together to make it 2 in a row as a 1-2-5 winner. Christopher Martin has done everything perfectly well. Get your checkout sponsors, he deserves it. But Casey Stoner has been the man of the meeting for me in second place. It's his first British Championship 1-2-5 race, and he finishes second in front of Stuart Easton, the pole man. What a great race from these three. Christopher Martin, 24 laps at an average of 96.47 miles an hour, gives him the win over Casey Stoner and Stuart Easton. Paul Robinson increases his challenge to Kenny Tibble, the series leader, with 4th place. And there is Tibble down in 9th, so another disaster for him as far as the championship's concerned. And by comparison, Steve Patrickson in 13th is a pensioner. On the top then, it is the young Christopher Martin squirting. Yes, Stuart Easton hanging on in there. Let's take a look at the championship. Tibble closed in by Paul Robinson. Green is still 3rd. DeSalvo 4th. Stuart Easton up to 5th. Christopher Martin up to 6th. John Pearson 7th. And Lee Jackson 8th. Mallory Park has provided us with some superb racing throughout the race card today. And we've got more British Superbikes from Brands Hatch Indy Circuit on Wednesday the 27th of September. That's at 8 p.m. on Sky Sports 2. And if you've missed anything out of the Year 2K British Superbikes, you can see it on Wednesday the 18th of October at 7 p.m. on Sky Sports 2. Who's going to be on top? We'll know by then.